Hi everyone. So Ray here. So I wanted to make this video on how to recall your dreams because I tried looking this up before, and I think I got my information from WinkyHow, and it was saying just do a journal and then just like write down your dreams every single day, or just recall as much as you can, even if you don't have any dreams. Just write about like how you didn't have a dream that day. And so I was doing that method for a while. And the thing is, I got sort of better at recalling the dreams, but it was still like only like occasionally that I would have a dream or like something to write about. So, but then again, I wasn't really, um, I didn't keep up with it though. So but I found like an even better way to just recall like any of the dreams that you had. In fact, I've been able to call every single dream that I've had, and the way I've been doing it is I read these two books. One's called The Copper Revolution by Jason Hommel, and then the other one is called The Iodine Crisis by Lynn Farrow, co-authored by Dr. Brownstein, I think. But yeah, these two books, I was very amazed by them on how much information and how much interesting things like I could find about a mineral, and like I was like shockingly like very surprised by it. Like you know, the iodine crisis, that book's a little bit more crazier, but still like even the copper revolution, it's a very good book. And I was more so surprised by the iodine crisis because it just lists the craziest stories you could imagine, and like the best of the best advertisement that you could give to anything, even though it's not really an advertisement, it's just like real testimonies, uh, how iodine has really helped people. And so it's just very crazy. But like not a lot of people know about like how great iodine is or how copper is. In fact, in both of the books, they both go over this in full detail on about why that is, and it's extremely interesting because iodine, like it goes back since the first written recorded medicine in history, and it goes back to using seaweed, which is a great source of iodine, and people they would use that for anything, for like any common ailments. Like you would just be prescribed iodine or the seaweed. But now, in fact, we can't just buy any kind of seaweed anymore because a lot of the seaweed comes from Japan. Japan was nuked, so the seaweed it absorbs all that radiation because of the iodine that's inside of it. So there's even a mainstream media, a government media, corporate media video on how you should prep up on iodine, in fact, in case of a nuclear fallout, because it would help, absorb the radiation and then you would pee it out or sweat it out. So, very interesting stuff. But, and also, iodine was used in the 1800s for breast cancer. And now it's not used anymore. Now they just, prescribe, the pill and then the surgery. And you might be asking yourself, like, why? Like, and in the book, actually, in the iodine crisis, like Lynn Farrell, she solves her breast cancer with the iodine, and then like two other, or at least one other patient of Dr. Brownstein, I think her name is. She like cured them of their breast cancer. So it's like a crazy, but now they don't even use it anymore, and that's because of a study, early 1900s, I think it is. Just one study, in fact. that showed that, but not conclusively, the iodine was bad. Uh, but it contradicted every other shred of evidence that iodine was good. So it was just a bad study overall, but it's crazy how much of an effect that study has had because, well, definitely Big Pharma and a lot of other people have massively benefited from that line. So that is a very good book if you want to like know more about iodine. That's like a great book. Like if you want to like just learn anything really fascinating about any like vitamin or mineral, like I would start with that book because that book is a bunch of crazy testimonies and stories in it. And in the Copper Revolution by Jason Hommel, he traces copper back to the Egyptians and their time, and they knew about how it would clean out the pineal gland and help them to dream better. And so, and he lists like 100 other studies on copper. It's crazy how many studies there are showing how good it is. But what ended up happening was there was a study that came out that where somebody they fed a pig like it was like a third or like a third to like half its body weight. They like gave it copper, and so of course like the pig died, and then they just said it was bad after that. Like that was literally the study. Like you could give a pig like a third to half of it um, vitamin C in its body weight, and of course it would die. But that doesn't mean vitamin C is bad, right? You could give a pig, a third to half its body weight in vitamin D and kill it, but of course that doesn't make the vitamin D bad. So the reason for this, Jason Hommel, he actually said in like one of his last video on YouTube, and I'll show you some of his YouTube channel, like a clip of it, but um, of just how he makes this copper stuff, and I'll show you how to make the iodine solution that you could use too on yourself, which is very very easy. Actually, it's both very very easy to make both methods. The copper method is the easiest solution to make, but anyways, in Jason Hommel's his last video, he talks about why this is, about why copper and iodine, about why they like disappeared from the literature, and he says that he thinks that what it is an American a psyop to dumb down the American people. So who knows? Maybe there are studies though that show that copper does make you smarter. In fact, like all of your brain connections, they need copper to send signals. And in every one of your cells, you need copper. So the average person has about like 100 trillion cells, or I think that's how many. But yeah, it's like every one of your cells needs copper, and every one of your cells needs iodine too. In the iodine crisis, I think it was Lynn who said this. She like was wondering like why did the iodine disappear from the literature, and she thinks, well she says like, well, why is that? Is it goofy negligence, or is it something conspiratorial? And so I don't. She didn't make a conclusion on it, but I don't. Yeah, she didn't really make a conclusion on it, but it is what it is. But there were massive studies on how iodine makes you smarter. I think it was in China or India, but they did studies in both of those areas. Like there's one province in China, which is like a whole country, pretty much. That's how big China is. That showed that for this like these people's drinking water, this river that ran through it, they they wanted to give the people iodine because they somehow already knew that it made people smarter. And there was this one country there where the where the people in China were just uh, they called it mass retardation, and so it was like a big problem for the province. And so the solution for that from their government was to give them iodine, but the people, they were like afraid of the mineral, similar to today, how people are afraid of the minerals today. And so the way that they got the people to consume it was just to dump the iodine into the river, and from the river the people would drink it, the animals would drink it, and then they would eat the animals, or they would give it to the plants, and then they would get the iodine from the plants. And they found that women who were pregnant that were consuming this iodine, they found that their average IQ went up by 14 points. So, I mean, like crazy stuff. And that was on average. On average, it went up by 14 points. And there was this another study in India where there was this guy who I guess was just like a burden to his family because, well, I don't know if you could say it was a burden, but he didn't know how to put on his clothes, and he couldn't work because he was just so dumb. But he ended up, but they like started giving him iodine, and after a while, like suddenly he could, learn to put on his own clothes and even work, like just work some simple job. So like even if like, so it could even like raise your IQ as of now, which is crazy. Even though your most of your development, is like through when you're a baby, like you could still even get smarter now from just using iodine. So it's crazy stuff. But I'm doing this video because you can use both of these supplements to make you dream. Like I've been recalling my dreams every single day. Every time I go to sleep, and I'll wake up from it, I'll remember the dreams I've had. So it's been like extremely awesome, and it's like with much less effort than trying to just recall your dreams. Like after you wake up, you can do it now much more easily, and you can recall much more of your dreams. So I wanted to make this video because I just thought it was so cool and interesting, and I'll show you like exactly how you can do this. I'm in one of my previous videos here on Rumble. I've made a video, how to make the Lugol's iodine 5% solution. It's not exactly like 5%, but I explain that in a video. But you can make it exactly 5% Lugol's iodine addition. Jason Hummel, he actually has a video too on how to make the Lugol's iodine, so you can also follow his video. But I made my own video on it just so you could, just in case you didn't have a scale, because I made mine without a scale and just using a little teaspoon. So you could follow my method as well. So, but anyways, let me show you a clip of Jason Hummel and basically how he makes his copper solution. And I just took like a small portion out, but what he's doing is he has like this one or this this 1/8 teaspoon, and then he has these copper sulfate pentahydrate crystals that you can buy on Amazon, and I'll leave a link so you can go there. But this stuff too, like the thing about it is you can get this stuff for like less than 10 cents, like both of these, like using them every day if you buy it all in bulk, which will last you like a year, like longer. Um, if you're just using like a regular small amount, like longer. So I mean, it's definitely worth like investing in like something that you know makes you smarter, makes you dream more uh, for the cheapest cost. What that also makes you healthier for like less than 10 cents a day, and there's also like the other method for dreaming, the African dreamer. But the thing about that is, it's not going to make you smarter, and then it's going to cost money, but it's not going to make you healthier. So I thought this would just be like a great video just to make, because there's better methods than just recalling your dreams rather than just writing them down. So I'll go ahead and I'll play that clip right now. Okay, so you could see how Jason Hommel on his channel, how he did it. He just had the 1/8 teaspoon, and then he would just scoop in the copper sulfate pentahydrate, just the blue crystals, just 5 scoops. Put it right there in a 2-ounce dropper. Shake it up, and then that's it. Like, he even heated up the water in his, but he even said it wasn't necessary. I even did it. I didn't heat up the water at all, and it was perfectly fine. So all you need is distilled water and then the copper sulfate pentahydrate crystals from Amazon. So it's like the easiest thing to do. The the Bacon Lugal's iodine is a little bit more complicated, but it's very well worth doing it because you can save a lot of money. Plus, Lugal's iodine is the best form of iodine that you could take. Like 1,000 years ago, you know, or before we nuked, Japan was nuked, or before they released a bunch of nuclear waste into their water. That their seaweed would have been a great product to buy, but not anymore. So Lugal's iodine solution is the best form of iodine you could take. So this is very well worth doing all of this. So, but I wanted to add this part to the video because they made it. It's more complicated to buy the iodine prills that you need in order to make this solution. This is a quick video that I made, and uh, it, it used to be the iodine prills. They used to be on eBay listed as iodine prills, but it's no longer on eBay anymore. So I don't know what happened with that. Even like last time I checked, they rechanged it to iodine prills, but then like they no longer sell that on eBay. Now there's this other seller, and he's labeling the iodine pills as what you can see here: sample iodine reagent about 50 grams, ultra pure 99.9% factorial sample. So it's no longer labeled as the pills anymore. So that's why I wanted to add this part to the video, because now it's a bit more complicated. So this is just me scrolling through eBay, showing you where you can get it. I checked this yesterday, and this is the video from it. So yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the iodine pills. And then there's also this website I found it on. I've never purchased anything from here. I don't know anything about the website, but they have it there too. If you're looking to make the big batch that Jason Hommel did, you need about 25 grams of the Lugal's iodine. But like if you're only like looking to use it for like a month or a couple months, you don't really need that much. To make the smallest amount from the recipe is only 5 grams of that, and then the smallest amount of this stuff right here, which you also need, is 10 grams. Right here they have it for 100 grams, and you need much more of this, the potassium iodide crystals. Their smallest amount, though, that they sell it is for 100 grams. And so I just scroll here through, and then you can see the different products, but it's all the same, so it doesn't matter. I don't think so. I just used the first one, the potassium iodide crystals. The first one that I showed was the same one that Jason Hummel bought from his channel that he shows. And then I have a video on it on how to make the Lugol's iodine. You can watch mine or watch Jason's. I only added my video because so if you didn't have a scale, it was just easier just to follow on mine. And I didn't make exactly 5% Lugol's iodine, but it's some people, they think it's a little bit better having more potassium iodide or more iodine prill. So some people swear by one or the other more. I would just go with the regular, just go with the 5%. Yeah, but yeah, that's the end of that. It was just me just scrolling through there. So I'll go ahead and I'll leave the link to where you can get the copper sulfate pentahydrate. I'm not affiliated with any of these products or anything, so but I just wanted to share this video just so you could go and try these things for yourself, because it has been a massive benefit to me. Like my everyday, like I'm 27 years old, and like every day has just been an absolute nightmare. I never feel like I even lived a day in my life. Like the best part of my day is literally when I am asleep. So, but that's just life these days. So, but anyways, there you go.